How's it going, everybody? It is episode 7 of the Lift with Christ podcast, and I have a very special guest for you. My wife, my one, my only. Hey, it's Haley Gaglione.
We would have done a Zoom call like the rest of them, but you see, we live in the same house. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, we just do it this way. So today we wanted to talk, well, you go ahead and say it. Aren't you going to ask me questions about my life?
Oh, you're out angling me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Ooh, I'm what?
It's a gym bro thing.
Oh, okay.
When you're out angling somebody in a mirror.
I'm out angling you? How?
I'm just kidding.
You were just doing push-ups right before this podcast.
No, shh, that's a secret.
Okay.
We wanted to talk about some music that we have worked on and some music that we're about to upload. First one I wanted to talk about a little bit was sort of the origins to what inspired our current music productions. Our first one was Eye of the Tiger. So Haley, why don't you dive in a little bit to just what came about and the nuclear bomb that went off on the internet that we did not see coming. Why don't you dive into that?
Sure. Well, Nick goes by LiftWithChrist. When we got married, Valentine's Day 2022, we started going by Two for Christ when we do events together. So we were doing this event in Wintersville, Ohio. It was a Christian event center. And Nick said, let's do something where, because he usually speaks and I sing, he said, let's do something that we can both do a music piece together. So we're both on stage at the same time, because generally it's just him on stage than me or vice versa. So we're both really big Rocky fans, and the theme song of Rocky is Eye of the Tiger.
We're such big fans. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we got a little baby on the way that we're naming Rocky.
Baby. You can sort of see. You can't really see them, but I am 6 months. I just turned into my third trimester. But anyway, he decided that we would do this song Eye of the Tiger, and so I wrote some Christian lyrics to it. Since he doesn't sing, he just raps. We put together I don't have my wedding ring on. I just realized that. That's okay. It's okay. It's fine. We're married, you know. All
right, we'll just take mine off.
No,
fair game. I'm kidding.
So we did this song, and because he doesn't sing, we put a rapping piece in it. Did you write that rap? We kind of put it together.
We collabed on it.
On that
I didn't want too many parts because I've never done it before, but like she was saying, I wanted to do something where the both of us were together on stage. And I definitely can't sing, but I thought rapping would be fun. Anyone who knows me knows what a big fan I am of John Cena. And honestly, when he did his Doctor of Thugonomics in WWE, just to me, everything he does is cool. So that inspired me to jump into the rap sphere. I don't know, I think it's called that.
Yeah,
Goodness. I'll put my headphones down. No, but
some people were calling him John Cena. Like, who is that shadowboxing? And then somebody called him Vanilla Christ after Vanilla Ice. And so we made merch that says Vanilla Christ on it. So that can explain that if anyone's confused. So we did that song. We had it as part of like a 1 hour video, the whole event. It was sort of just in the middle somewhere. Nick said, why don't you isolate that clip and put it up by itself and see how it does? And I was like, okay, we could do that. He's like, because he kept reminding me. I was like, well, fine, and we'll do it. Eye of the Tiger, okay. So I put it up, and then I think the first person that saw it and posted it was Brody Wellmaker, which is, he has a lot of followers. I don't know how many, but that was cool to get that exposure. And then somebody else picked it up, and different Christian meme channels, and they've posted it. So then, but unfortunately, it's copyrighted, and it's not our own, and so it was taken down. Our video got 30,000 views. Everybody else has got a lot more than ours did. It was taken down, so then we decided to write our own rap, which then we collabed on a song called Christianomics, in theme of Thugonomics from John Cena.
Yeah.
But it's not a parody at all. It's just taking the title, sort of.
Yeah.
We put that up. And we actually have a live version of that coming out tomorrow, along with Nick.
Heart of a Lion. I'm sorry to block this one. Heart of a Lion.
Heart of a Lion. Yep. That is the new rap song. That one does not feature me at all. I'm one of the, I guess you could say, hype men, along with his brother Justin, one of his triplet brothers.
It's fun.
Yes. Unfortunately, his two other triplet brothers could not make it, but Justin, the youngest of the triplets, was able to, basically, he's doing this the whole time. So you'll see him in there to Nick's right. I'm on the left. Yep. And this is a song that just Nick is doing, a rap solo. And who did the music to this song?
50 Vince, who's really big on YouTube. He's done work for ESPN, the NFL, NBA, Disney. Yep, her favorite of those four.
But I can respect that. It's a very cool track. When Nick first started telling me that he wants to make his own rap, I was going to help him, but I just really didn't have the inspiration for it. And then, I don't know if it was like one evening you sat down and did like all these this
I used my
long.
secret weapon. I used some prayer, and I just really, I was praying to God a lot before I did it, and I was like, I really meant the words when I was praying to him. I was like, I want to be speaking to you. You know, I really want these lyrics to be for you. I want as if you're right in front of me in the flesh, or not in the flesh, but like just
Either
we'll
way.
crop that out. Just I want Jesus to be right in front of me, and Jesus says, "Yo, Nick, give me what you got." And I want to look him in the eyes and deliver the lyrics to him, you know? So to me, that's where like my heart was with it. And the second I had that mindset where it's like, this is for Jesus, to me, that's when it really clicked. And just coming up with different rhymes and putting in things I wanted to say and trying to navigate it. It was a really fun project for me because when you work out, you grow physically. But for me, I was working out in my brain and I was growing a lot mentally, just tapping into something that I haven't done before and trying to do it to the best of my abilities. It really helped me grow mentally and helped me believe in myself that I can do things that I put my mind to.
Right. And so I basically only edited some of the lyrics to this song, maybe about 10%. But I'm proud of it personally. And you did most of it, so I can kind of say that. I'm proud of my husband.
One of the cool things about Heart of a Lion is that it was not just me. So many people came into my life, like 50 Vince with the awesome instrumental that he used for it.
Right, he'd already listened to 50 Vince tracks working out in general, so I'm imagining a lot of people look up his name. And so we have him in the title featuring 50 Vince and go on.
Yeah, he's someone who I've been a fan of because whenever I work out, I try not to listen to anything with any swearing in it. And he's got some really awesome instrumental beats that get me really fired up and give me that grrr, you know, whenever I'm in the gym. So just him with the instrumental. My wife just helping guide me and inspire me and just giving me suggestions and helping put the video together and just doing a lot of the work behind the scenes. Michael Robertson.
I was going to say, speaking of the video, we have Michael Robertson to thank. He is a guy that was going to the gym with, we gave him our business card 2 years ago.
Yeah, so
at the gym, and he still has it. And when he found out Nick was doing podcasts, actually, he was podcasting with one of his friends. And then he said, I have their business card, and he found out we wanted to do this music video, and he totally killed it. He provided the lighting too, and he just set everything up, and wow, thank you so much, Michael Robertson. Did such a good job.
You guys don't see a lot of the behind the scenes, but he really hustled, made sure the lighting looked good, made sure he was getting the right angles when he was video recording.
And it's all filmed on an iPhone 14 in the cinematic mode. So,
well, that leads me to my next point.
Yes.
I have my dad to thank. My dad kept telling me, he's like, Nick, I'm going to get you the new iPhone. Do you want the new iPhone 14? And I'm a minimalist. I'm just like, no, I'm very fine with what I have. But he just kept insisting and pushing that I get an iPhone 14. And I think it's because he works for Spectrum and he gets a little bit of a discount for cell phones, and he gets the bill down, and he just wanted to do something nice for his son. I got the best dad in the whole world.
Yeah, and you got that phone like a couple days before the video or something?
I don't remember the exact timeline, but it was relatively close, and the video would not have looked as good as it did if I did not have my new iPhone. So God just brought things together. So I have my dad to thank, and I also have Trevor Overly to thank. From Covenant Church.
RX3 Youth.
Trevor is an amazing guy who I have a lot of respect for.
You podcast with him.
Yeah, episode 4, I believe, if you guys want to check that out. Trevor, very unbelievably well-spoken. And I've had conversations with him before, but especially on the podcast, he just really poured his heart out. Be sure to give that a listen. We'll put the link in the description to that. He let us do our first youth group event. At the RX3.
Oh, you were so excited. Center. I remember you were like, everyone say Jesus! And you had the kids all going crazy and stuff. And you had the kids come up and talk about their dating life and all different kinds of things. It was very cool, actually.
It was really fun, and that place in general is a very special spot in my heart, and Trevor just does an amazing job with his youth group, and I always keep in touch with him through like social media, and I follow him, and I'm always looking at what he's doing, and he's destined for really big things. He's going to bring a lot of people to the Lord that he hasn't yet already, and he's just what a great guy, and I'm still very grateful that he opened up his facility to us. Back to when this all started, at Center of Hope in Wintersville, Ohio, contrary to what people have formulated on the internet, that event was on a Wednesday, and that building was not a church. It was a Christian entertainment center, and they've had different acts come in to perform there. And luckily for Haley and I, we got blessed with the opportunity to do what we did there because of Janet Grimes, who we also have to thank. Janet is somebody who watched one of Haley's Karen Carpenter tributes at the Amish Country Theater, and she became a friend of her.
By the way, she bought my first registry item on Amazon. It's a white noise machine. Thank you, Janet.
And she wanted her to come on out, and she figured out that Haley was doing ministry. So she thought it'd be really, really cool since she had connections to that facility for us to do an event there, which we did. And like we were saying earlier, we decided to collab on a song. She did some Karen Carpenter songs during that show.
Yeah, I did a mix of different things. I did some Dolly Parton. I did a Coat of Many Colors, which is why I had that Coat of Many Colors on with the Eye of the Tiger video. Some of you will remember it. That video is, by the way, still on our TikTok and still, I think, on our Instagram. It just got removed from YouTube, so you can go to Lift with Christ and see it just about anywhere.
And if you would like to see the whole event in its entirety, we will put the link in the description to this video of the performance that her and I don't know if I want to call it a performance or not. It's just it was an event. It was advertised as family-friendly Christian entertainment night. We had fun with it, and the people afterwards, there was so many great people there that came up and talked with us afterwards. And it was just a fun time. It was right before our Myrtle Beach trip, and I truly had a blast with it.
And by the way, speaking of the Myrtle Beach trip, that was last year's family trip. This year we went to
Los Angeles. We went to WrestleMania.
Went to WrestleMania. It was my first WrestleMania. Your fifth.
Yeah, you're good.
And when he was little, he always dreamt about that WrestleMania would be in LA. So it was this year. So that was pretty cool. And Roman Reigns is still on the throne.
Acknowledge me.
So I'm glad. I like to see Roman on the screen. He's got a very nice beard. He's got nice hair. And
sorry, I gotta get my wrestling taunts in.
He approves that I like Roman Reigns because it's WWE. So
we're gonna talk a little bit about the two songs and what ultimately inspired them. So we're gonna start with Christianomics. That was actually started as a jingle for my YouTube channel. It started.
When it comes to the devil,
and you can watch it on. If you just go through any of my videos, you'll see the beginning jingle. But I always wanted to have my own song, but I know nothing about music. And luckily for me, I married a wife who happens to be pretty talented and knows a lot about.
Well, you didn't marry a wife; you married a fiance, technically.
Technically, okay. Thank you for fact checking me. but anyways, she helped me put my jingle together. But I always wanted to do my own song. But like I said, I didn't really know how to. And after this song blew up, I originally had no intentions of doing rapping. But after the first Eye of the Tiger song got so big, I prayed a lot, and I was just contemplating myself, like, what to do with it. And there was a few times I got interviewed on some podcasts, and I was like, I'm not a rapper, but whenever I said that, I had this knot in my stomach. It was almost like, Nick, what are you saying?
And you're not saying you're the world's best rapper. It's just you technically are rapping. If you're talking to a beat like that, it's like technically rapping.
In the songs, and we'll dive a little bit into this, especially with Heart of a Lion, I really felt like God wanted me to show the world that I don't care what the world thinks of me. I only care what God thinks of me. And I do believe that each and every single one of us has a gift from God, a gift that is coded in our spirits that God wants us to use to bring him glory. And for me, the gift that I feel that God gave me was that I have the ability to just go out, do anything, make myself look a certain way, and just not care what anybody thinks. And for me, just throwing my hat on backwards, wearing a stringer, and doing ministry is definitely unorthodox. But I know the heart of what I'm doing is to bring people to the Lord. And I want to genuinely inspire people to be better versions of themselves. And I want to do that through Christianomics, through Heart of the Lion, and through more music that's to come. There's so many people who battle different things. For me, I battled drug addiction. I used to be addicted to painkillers. There's people that are dealing with anxiety, depression, bullying, suicidal thoughts. And there's people that don't really know where to go. They don't have Christ in their lives. And I want this song to be a gateway for people into Christianity. Through both of these songs, I mention my testimony. I talk about how I found the Lord. We bring up Bible verses, and we bring up so many different things in the song that point directly at Jesus. And at the end of the day, even though I look a certain way as I'm doing it, I truly want to guide people to Jesus because I know what Jesus did for me in my life. And I want each and every single one of you that's watching to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. You don't have to find that relationship in a church. You can do it right now if you're watching it on your bed, on a couch. I found Christ when I became a reborn Christian on my bed when I was praying to get off of drugs. It was just such a surreal experience for me, and I talk about it in my songs, what I felt when I felt Christ come into my heart. And since then, I've really been on fire for God. And I know that I didn't battle drug addiction by accident. And I believe each and every single one of us is destined for greatness and to do great things here on earth. And especially with me just becoming an entrepreneur and getting into ministry, nobody's ever perfect. Nobody ever has it all together. Nobody looks perfect. But guess what? God does not pick perfect people for the right jobs. He picks the right people for the perfect jobs. And God takes the imperfect messes that we all could be and molds us and pushes us to do extraordinary things here on earth. So with Christianomics, that was the first one that you and I did together. Our first original, so I'll let you do some talking here because I'm going to flap my gums quite a bit.
You're perching. I was going to say, also, fun fact, I was pregnant? We just did that video just before our LA trip.
Yeah.
And so I was 6 months pregnant during that time. I don't know how much people could be able to tell because I wear a plaid shirt. And then the thing about us is that our goal is to make Christianity fun. Before we started dating, I was telling him that was my goal, and he's like, go look at my Instagram bio. That's actually what it says on mine as well. So what? YouTube bio. Oh, his YouTube bio. Right. It doesn't say that anymore, by the way. I don't know what happened to it. I put it back on today. But anyway, I'm always editing his stuff. He's like, did you touch my stuff? I'm like, yes, we're married. But anyway, also a little bit about our origin. We met at the Cleveland Hopkins airport. He had seen one of my sister and my viral videos on YouTube. He found out we were in town. We put it on storyline on Instagram.
Slid in the DMs, baby.
He was following us. He slid in the DMs.
Only animals meet each other in person. You message each other on social media first.
But I invited him to come see us at the airport because I was thinking, even if he's a creep, the airport is pretty safe and whatever. So he jumped up behind us and he's like, hi. And I was like, oh, you're him. Okay. Interesting. Hi. And he was like a cartoon character, I think.
Still am, baby. Just look at me.
And you still are. I think you've mellowed out a little bit in the past year, I guess a half. Actually, that was 2020. So yeah, it's been over.
Time flies.
Wow. It will be pretty much 3 years soon. But as we always say, met at the airport. Our love didn't take flight that day, but eventually did. He moved out to Oklahoma for about a year, which is where I'm from. And then week after our wedding on Valentine's Day is actually President's Day. And we moved to Akron, Ohio, which is where we are now. And Akron is so beautiful in the summertime. Summer just hit basically.
It's like 80 degrees today. I was in such a good mood.
Yeah, it's beautiful. His perfect temperature is like 90 degrees. Is that right?
I'm Italian, okay? I need the heat. I'm sorry.
It can never be. And now that I'm pregnant, I get overheated a little bit, and I'm sure I will a lot more in the third trimester. So baby is due July 3rd. We're kind of hoping that he's actually going to be born July 6th because we're calling him Rocky. And the creator of Rocky is Sylvester Stallone, who was born on July 6th. And so we will see. I would be happy if he was born on July 4th, too. It's a holiday.
Sooner the better. I just want to meet the guy. Right?
I had a dream he was born May 25th. That's probably not a prophetic dream, but it is possible because babies sometimes are born 2 months early.
Well, we'll see. Just put it out there for the internet.
Oh, just to see.
I don't think it'll be that early, but you never know.
Anyway, we're very excited for you to see the video if you haven't already seen it. The video will be linked below. And Nick, do you have any parting words?
I do actually, yeah. So both these songs, like I said, no pun intended, they're both very near and dear to my heart because I really feel like I poured my heart out, and especially talking about my addiction and just stepping into something with the whole rapping thing, which I've never done before or thought I would do. I was just recently thinking about my old self in high school about 10 years ago, just thinking if I would have ever thought that I would be doing what I do now.
I'm sure your friends could have seen it, right?
I think
you were the class clown, so you being like a Christian rapper, I mean, that's sort of in the category. Not really, but kind of good.
I'll have to ask some people if they predicted that, but I don't think if you would have put a bet in Vegas, I do not think Christian rapper would have been at the highest.
Vegas, that's one of Nick's favorite cities. In fact, Orlando and Vegas. Anyway, it's just a little fun fact about Nick. He says if Vegas had a beach, it'd be the perfect place on earth. And by the way, neither of us really have big dreams to go out of the country. Even though I'd be willing to go out of the country, maybe go to Italy or something. Where you're from?
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. All my ancestors are in Ohio.
Oh, okay. It doesn't seem to be a whole lot of Gaglioni's, but we're making more. Nick hopes our next baby will be a girl. And we do plan to have...
She's like Bill Belichick.
baby.
She's always about she's on to the next thing. We haven't even got the first one out.
I'm just saying that he is so funny. But I would be okay if it was another boy. But there's basically only boys in the Gaglione family. There are just very few girls. Very, very few. So
I feel like there's a lot of boys and girls in this world, and a lot of them are pretty cool. And if it's a boy or a girl, I'd be super happy.
Yeah, me too.
That was a very politically correct answer.
Yeah, Nick says he doesn't compare, he appreciates.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
That's a Teddy Roosevelt quote, but it's also taken from the Bible. That's a paraphrase of the Bible.
But yeah, so to conclude, just talking about the two songs, I really hope that they inspire people. I am self-aware, and I'm there. When you do anything that's Christian, with so many different denominations that are in this world, you are not going to please everybody. If you're into working out like me, you can't train 1 day a week and get in shape. And there's a lot of Christians out there that only spiritually work out on Sunday, but take Monday through Saturday off. And this song is something you can listen to any day of the week. And I feel it's very important to feed ourselves spiritually throughout the week, and that's how we grow closer with God. The heart of both of these songs, is just ultimately to bring people closer to the Lord and inspire people. I know there's people that are going to have some really funny comments. They are going to DM some funny things, and it's all good. We love you all. But for those of you who are genuinely inspired and know somebody who's battling something and know that this song can lift up their spirits, know that this song can help somebody build a relationship with God, these songs are for you. And for those of you who enjoy what my wife and I do, we will not stop doing what we do if we know in our hearts that it will bring people closer to Jesus. And I just want to say thank you to all the people who have supported us from the Eye of the Tiger virality. Her and I have met a lot of cool people from it. It's funny how God brings people into your life, and he did it through such a unique way. I know it's only the beginning of what's to come. And again, I'm really excited to release these videos tomorrow. And I was talking with my wife, and I was like, let's tell them a little bit about it, because we're both excited. But I'm also looking forward to seeing how many people can be inspired by these songs.
Did you mention that we're releasing 2 videos tomorrow, not just the one?
We are releasing both of them because I'm
Yes.
impatient, and
I don't think we even talked about it, but we filmed in the same venue. We filmed Christianomics and Heart of a Lion. Mm-hmm. So they look kind of similar, but we just wanted to put both of them up so you can have it all at one time. Mm-hmm. So
I was telling her yesterday that Christianomics is the lightning and Heart of a Lion is the thunder. And if you watch the videos, you can understand the reference. Both of them.
We had a lot of fun with the Heart of a Lion video. I mean, both of them, but
both of them have their own personality to them, which is really cool.
We're looking forward to you guys seeing it. And thank you for tuning in to episode 7 of the With Christ podcast.
Yep. Thank you all for watching. And, like we're talking about with the virality of it, no matter who says what about you in this life, if you know who you are in Christ, I truly believe that you can be unstoppable here on earth. And Galatians 1:10 is one of my favorite Bible verses, which tells us not to seek the approval of man, but to seek the approval of God. And in a world where there's a lot of people with lots of opinions, it's very, very important to be focused on Christ and bringing God's children to him. So like I said, I hope this song inspires people. Feel free to reach out to us, follow us, subscribe, message. I always try to check my DMs and get back with as many people as possible.
Yes, and if you'd like to donate, we have the link to our Cash App. It's under LiftWithChrist. We would like to do ministry full-time moving forward. And even with our baby, baby's going to grow up in the ministry and be part of our act probably. So I don't know what he'll do, but let's go him out breakdancing or something.
We haven't even met him yet, so we'll see.
We
have to meet the guy first.
Thanks again. And Nick, you go that way, I'll go this way.
There's a brick wall that way, though.
Then we'll have to just say goodbye like this. Ta-ta! And we'll see you tomorrow.
See you very soon. God bless.